Going through the Hayom Yom Chabad Lubavitch learning program. This is the RAMBAM portion of the daily learning program. There's 2 cycles. There's 1 chapter a day, and that completes in 3 years, and then 3 chapters a day completing in 1 year. And so I've opted for the longer route with a shorter amount of material because of the different, the various other commitments in the day. But now I'm getting a taste for really what this Hayom Yom is. And I'm saying, wow, Lubavitchers do this, real Lubavitchers, Chabadniks, they do this every day. It's really a discipline. It's like, it's not so simple. I thought it was just a small amount. I mean, I would say to do the Hayom Yom right takes at least an hour and a half. If you're really going to study, your Chumash and your Rashi, you study that. Then some people just read through it fast. I guess if you daven it up, you can do it faster. You can do it in less than an hour. If you just read it like you say it, if you're davening, okay. But if you actually learn it, I would say an hour and a half, 2 hours a day commitment. So I'll see how long this goes. I'm not sure how long I can keep doing this. As long as I have the opportunity, God willing, I'll try to do it. I will make an effort to do it. So now we are in the Rambam portion, the Maimonides, this Hayom Yom. The Lubavitch Rebbe came up with the idea to institute a daily learning of the Maimonides code of Jewish law every day. So here we are. We're in the laws of Avel, which means mourning, or mourners, those who have lost a relative, and the grieving process and laws involved with that. We're in chapter 9. There are 15 sifim, meaning small parts within this chapter. Kol ha'kfara mishkor adam marshal kroiva v'shol l'keva li'am shiva mi'achia le'achar shloshim al aviv ve'al imo shoel le'achar shloshim ve'enu me'achia le'olam ve'shekora solelet miyad afilo al avia ve'al imo v'imnei atznius. Whenever a person rends his garments after the loss of a relative, other than a parent, he may sow the tear after the 7 days of mourning and mend it after 30 days. For one's father and mother, he may sow the tear after 30 days, but may never mend it. A woman should rend her garments and sew them immediately, even when she lost a father or mother, as an expression of modesty. But כדרך שקורא אדם על אביו, יעלימו כך וחייב לקרוא רבו שלימד אותו, ויעל הנציב יעלה בית דין, ויעל רוב הציבור שנהרג, ויעל ברכת השם והספר תורה שנצרב. Just as a person rends his garments for the loss of his father and mother, so too he is obligated to rend his garments for the loss of a teacher instructed in the Torah, a Nasi, the Beit Din, the majority of the community who are slain, the cursing of God's name. Someone hears that, they have to recreate the burning of the Torah scroll when the seeing of cities of Judah, Jerusalem, and the temple are in their destruction. כולל הקרעים גורע שמגלה ליבו אינו מאחל לעולם אף על פי שאין מתחים מותר לשלולן למללן ולקטן ולעשותן גמין סלומות לא אסרו אלא מרוח סנדרים בלבד כל הגורע בתוך השללים במלל או הליכוד לא עשה כלום אבל קורע הוא מתוך האיחוי האלכסנדרי. All of these tears should be rent to the extent that one reveals the heart. And they should never be mended Although they should never be mended, they may be sewed irregularly, sewn after the sides are wound, twisted together, sewn like ladders. All that was forbidden was Alexandrian mending. Whenever a person tears a garment in a place where it was sewn irregularly, or sewn after the sides were wound and twisted together, his act is of no consequence. If however he rips a garment where it has been mended in an Alexandrian manner, it is of consequence. Even if one turns a rent garment upside down and makes his collar his hem, he should not mend it. Just as the seller may not mend it, so too the purchaser may not. Therefore, the seller must notify the purchaser that this tear may not be mended. Malachim bet Yud bet. What is the source that teaches that one is obligated to rend his garments at his teacher's death, just as he rends his garments for his father? 2 Kings 2:12 it states, he was calling out, this is Elisha about Eliyahu when Eliyahu passed or was taken. He was calling, my father, the chariot of Israel and his horsemen. And then he no longer saw him. And he took a hold of his garments and tore them into two halves. This teaches that one must rip apart the collar. Shaul Zenasim Yonatan Zehav Beit Dimya Amashem al Beit Yisrael Kinaf L'Chaim. What is the source that teaches that one is obligated to rend his garments at the death of the Nasi? The Av Beit Din and report that the majority of the community has been slain. 2 Samuel 11-12 relates that David took a hold of his garments and rent them, as did all the people who were with him. They mourned, they cried, and they fasted until the evening for Saul, the Nasi, and for his son Jonathan, the Av Beit Din, and for the people of God in the house of Israel, for they fell by the sword. This is an unfavorable report. What is the source which teaches that one is obligated to rend his garments when hearing the blasphemy of God's name? In 2 Kings 18:37 states, and Eliakim and Hilkiah, who oversaw the palace, Shebna the scribe and Yoach ben Asaph the secretary, came to Hizkiah with red garments. Okay. Just as one who hears the blasphemy itself must rend his garments, so too one who hears the report of the blasphemy from listeners must rend his garments. What if you heard it from one who heard it from one who said it? What if you hear it from one who heard it from one who heard it from one who said it? Anyway, the witnesses are not obligated to rend their garments when they testify in court, for they already tore them when they heard the blasphemy. ומניין שקורא לא ספר תורה שנשרף שנאמר והיכר היהודי 3 דלתות ו4 עד תום כל המגילה על האש אשר על האח ולא פחדו, ולא קראו את בגדיהם המלך וכל עבדיו. Jeremiah 36, 23-24. נקרא שחיה ונקרא. What is the source which teaches that one is obligated to rend his garments for a Torah scroll that is burnt? Jeremiah 36, 23-24 states, and it came to pass that when Yehudi would read 3 or 4 columns until the entire scroll was consumed by the fire in the hearth, and neither the king nor his servants became fearful, nor did they rend their garments. Implied is that one is obligated to rend one's garments. Okay. ואין חייבים קריאה על ספר שניסח בזרוע כמעשה שהיה, חייב לקרוא 2 קריאות, אחת על הגביל ואחת על הכתב, שנאמר אחרי שרוף המלך את המגילה ואת הדברים. One is obligated to rend one's garments only because of a Torah scroll that was burnt arrogantly, as in the instance cited. One is obligated to rend one's garments twice, once for the parchment and once for the writing. As it states, the king burnt the scroll and the words. What is the source which teaches? Here. What is the source which teaches that one obligated to rend his garments when seeing the cities of Judah and Jerusalem? See, did I read the Hebrew there? ומניין שקורא על ערי יהודה ועל ירושלים והמקדש שחרבו 12 אנשים משכם ומשלו משומרון 80 איש מגולחי זקן וקרא בגדים. What is the source which teaches that one is obligated to rend his garments when seeing the cities of Judah, Jerusalem and the temple and their destruction? Jeremiah 41:5 relates, men came from Shechem and from Shiloh, from Samaria, 80 men with their beards shaven and their garments rent. Were they allowed to shave? They weren't allowed to shave. Okay, I don't know. כל מי שמד עם הבייס בשעת יציאת נשמתו, אף על מי שאינו כל בחיים לקרוא חיים דם, כאשר שבייס לכל חיים לקרוא עליו, אף על מי שאינו חכם, וכהן טבע ושערי אביב, אף שבייס לכל חיים ולא שמכל הסיבות, לראות מימים ולשווה לחותו, שאותו חכם בטל כל שיבה. וכבר נער למיכה בכל מקום לקרוא את זה על זה טבע, אבל מי ששבים יחבר ונאמר חייו. Okay. Whoever is present with a dying person at the time his soul expires is obligated to rend his garments, even if he is not his relative. Similarly, when a virtuous person dies, everyone is obligated to rend his garments because of him, even though he is not a sage. They tear them a handbreadth as other mourners do. When, however, a sage dies, everyone is considered as his relative. They rend their garments for him until they reveal their hearts and uncover their right arms. The house of study of that sage should be discontinued for all 7 days of mourning. Torah scholars have universally accepted the custom of rending their garments for a handbreadth in respect for each other, even though they are equal in stature and neither of them teaches the other. 12. כל הקוראים על חכם שמת קיבל שחזו פנימה הקוראים מתשלים ויראה לי שקרא על החכם מאחד מאחד שאפילו רבו שמת אין מתאפר עליו אלא יום אחד מלבד עוד יום מיתה או יום שימוע. כן יראה לי שאפילו קורא על הנשיא וחיות ציבו שולל למעל when a person rends his garments because of a sage dies, As soon as he turns away from the beer, he may sow it irregularly. It appears to me. When a person rents his garments for a sage, he may mend them on the following day. For even when his teacher dies, one should mourn for him for only one day. Either the day of his death or the day he hears the report of his death. Similarly, it appears to me that a person rents his garments because of the death of the Nasi or the like may sow them irregularly on the following day, even though he may never mend them. Chacham shema shmuato shemes ein korin alav el v'shashes beidno v'zehu gemunon bo v'yom yacher levacho. When a report comes that a sage has died, we rend our garments only at the time he is eulogized. This is the honor granted to him. One may sew the garment that day and mend it on the following day. Av beitin shemet kol korin alav v'otzim mismol v'chol beit midrash v'ravadim b'nei beit knesset shenilazin beit knesset v'ushanin when the Av Beit Din dies, everyone rends their garments because of him and uncovers their left arm. All the houses of study in the city are discontinued. The members of the synagogue enter the synagogue and change their places. Those who sit at the south should sit at the north, and those who sit at the north should sit at the south. Okay, Nasi Shemet. Hakol korin alav v'chotim shtei hayadayim mikan u'mikan u'chol l'badei v'darashot b'delim. U'v'nei beit ha'knesset yothin v'shabbat lebeit ha'knesset v'korim v'shiva yotzin kol ve'lo yetir v'shu ele v'shvim v'shvot na'im kol hayom. When a Nasi dies, everyone rends their garments because of him and uncovers both arms. All the houses of study are discontinued. The members of the synagogue enter the synagogue on the Sabbath, call 7 men to the Torah reading and depart. They should not stroll in the marketplace, but instead should sit together in families mourning the entire day.